I've been a full-time freelance writer for a couple of years now, but there are a few things I wish I knew before I got started because they would have made my life way easier. I'm going to share those 5 things with you so that you can use them to improve your own writing business, whether it's new or whether you have some experience under your belt already. The first thing I wish I knew is that clients value expertise over experience. In fact, most don't even care about experience. When I was a new freelance writer, and I'm sure most people feel like this, I thought, I don't have any experience writing. I can't point to published pieces of work on the internet with my name on it. I've never written anything for any kind of publication ever. So who's going to hire me? And even more importantly, who's going to hire me and pay me 12 cents per word? The thing I didn't know though is that clients are looking for individuals who are experts in their niche. So if you think about a solar website, they're not going to look for someone who has 5 years of experience as a freelance writer. They don't care. They want someone who knows about the solar industry, which means that if you have real-world experience from a career or a hobby that you're super interested in, you can use that expertise instead of writing experience. And you can pitch to those big clients that are going to send you work over and over and over again and pay you rates that are well above the industry standard. The moment I realized that clients cared about your knowledge and not your writing experience is when I started earning 15 to 30 cents per word from all of the clients that I write for. Yes, it may be a little difficult to get that first client when you have no experience, but if you just keep pushing for clients that are looking for high quality work from knowledgeable individuals, not necessarily experienced freelance writers, but knowledgeable individuals, I promise it is going to pay off for you. The second thing I wish I knew before starting freelance writing is that you can say no. Now, this is important for 2 reasons. First, as a beginner freelance writer, you can say no to the jobs you don't want to take. So what does that mean exactly? It means you can say no to a client that's only willing to pay 1.5 cents per word. If your goal is to get to 3 cents or 5 cents or 10 cents, you can say no to any client that is willing to pay less than that. When you're first starting out in this career, it is very tempting just to take all of the work you can get, especially if you're in the same position I was. I was in a dead-end 9-to-5 job that I hated, and there was no room for growth, and I wanted to get out of that. And when I found freelance writing, I realized that freelance writing was the way to go. You can earn significantly more than you can in pretty much any other career, and especially a 9-to-5. But in the beginning, I was so tempted to say yes to any work that I could get access to because I needed to replace my income so that I could get to the point where I felt comfortable leaving my job. And a lot of the time that meant taking the 1.5 cent per word client or the 3 cent per word client. And sometimes it even meant going from a 5 cent per word average back down to 3 cents per word. But I wish I knew that I didn't have to do that. A big problem with taking those lower paying jobs and agreeing to that lower rate is that you spend time writing at that lower rate when you could use that time looking for those higher paying clients, or even better, figuring out how to get clients, high quality clients and high paying clients to come to you. The second reason that's important is because you can say no to additional work. I've run into this situation a ton of times where I pitch my freelance writing services to a client, they'll have me write some articles, and then they'll say something like, hey, we have these 10 articles that we need edited, and we're gonna pay half the price that you would normally earn for writing it, but you're doing slightly less work. Or maybe they have data that they wanna pull from somewhere, and they lean on you to do it. You can say no to that. You're a freelance writer. You're not an editor. You're not a data analyst. You're a writer. You can say no to any work you want, including writing. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed one week and a client asks you to rush an article or take on additional work. You have the power to say no. This is your business and you control what you take and what you don't take. So I wish I had known that in the beginning because I would have saved myself a lot of time doing those tiny little extra jobs that pay significantly less than writing. And I could have turned down those lower paying jobs and spent that time that I would have spent writing looking for clients that are going to pay the rates that I want to earn. The third thing I wish I knew before I started in freelance writing is that clients want personality. You can go to hundreds of websites on the internet and find the same recycled information over and over and over again. And there's no personality in it. It's robotic writing. And the problem with that is that most of the people writing those are low quality freelance writers. And you want to differentiate yourself from that. Especially when you first get started in freelance writing, much like I did. You're probably going to think, well, why would they hire me as a writer? I don't have writing experience. I don't have a degree in creative writing or English literature or whatever it is, journalism. I don't have a degree. I don't have experience. Why would they hire me? And when you have that mindset, you tend to accept those lower rates because you don't believe that you're worthy of those higher rates. But the thing is, most clients, or at least the high quality clients that you really want to get, are looking to differentiate themselves from the competition, from that robotic writing that's prevalent everywhere on the internet. The best clients that you're gonna find are the ones that like your voice and your personality. And honestly, I've written those dry pieces for a lot of websites, and I've written personality-filled pieces where I basically just write how I speak. And the ones that are written in my own personality are much faster to write because I don't have to think so much about what I'm writing. And they're way more enjoyable because I get to inject my own personality into them and not make them a robotic copy of 100 other articles on the internet. So I wish I knew in the beginning that clients looked for personality, because I have a personality and I can easily pitch that to clients. I can easily show them, this is how I write, this is how I speak. If you like it, great. If you don't, move on to somebody else. And if I had known that in the beginning, I probably would have been more comfortable looking for those higher rates, knowing that I had something unique to bring to the table, even though I had no freelance writing experience at all. The fourth thing I wish I knew before I got into freelance writing is that you have to set aside money for taxes. So as a freelance writer, you're going to be what's called an independent contractor. You're probably going to have your income reported on a 1099 miscellaneous, which means that taxes aren't taken out of your income throughout the year at all. Now, while that might be a great thing, it's not a great thing when the tax man comes a-knockin', because in April, all of the taxes that the federal government and the state government normally would have collected throughout the entire year, they're going to come collect it on April 20th. And you will never hear me say that earning $300,000 a year is a bad thing. But one potential downside of it is that when it's time to pay taxes, you're going to owe $60,000. And if you're not prepared for that, you're going to be in trouble. So what I wish I knew in the beginning, so that I didn't get surprised that first April, was set aside at least 30% of my income. However often you get paid, set aside 30%, put it in a separate account, and pretend that it's gone, because it's going to be. Then when it's time to pay taxes, you have all of the money you need sitting there. Another related thing I wish I knew is that the government will charge you interest on any taxes that you don't pay quarterly. So yes, you can wait until April to pay your taxes for the previous year. But if you haven't made quarterly payments before that, all of the money that you should have paid throughout the year is going to have interest tacked on to the top of it. It's not a crazy amount, but it's easy to avoid, especially if you get in the routine of setting aside that 30% every time you get paid. And the fifth and final thing I wish I knew before I got started in freelance writing is that you don't need to search constantly for clients. Anybody considering freelance writing, I guarantee that one of the biggest sticking points is that I'm gonna have to spend time looking for clients, and I don't know how to do that. But the thing is, once you get a little bit of experience under your belt, you don't ever need to do that again. Of course, in the beginning, I put in time and energy figuring out how to find clients and actually finding them. But for the last few years, I haven't spent any time at all looking for clients. In fact, most of the time, my clients, those high quality ones that assign work day after day and week after week, they come to me. And I've found myself recently turning away clients that are reaching out to me because I have too much work as it is. So in the beginning, I would recommend searching for clients, whether that's on Upwork or job boards like ProBlogger, or even better, LinkedIn or cold emails. You're going to have to put in some work to find those initial clients. But once you get going and your name is out there and you have a byline on a bunch of big name websites, clients are going to find you and they're going to reach out to you. And eventually you'll be in the same position where you're gonna have to tell clients, no, I already have too much work from these existing clients. And that is a beautiful thing. So if you have any questions about anything that I spoke about in this video, leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to get back to you. I will mention that in the description, I have a link to a free training video, which can teach you how to implement some of these tips and tricks that I've discussed. Specifically, how to find clients that want personality and are willing to assign work over and over and over again, and also how to set up a system that attracts clients to you so that you don't have to go out and look for them yourself. So click that link in the description. It's a totally free training video and it should help you implement some of the things I've spoken about in this video. Also, make sure you like this video and subscribe. I have a ton more content coming out soon about how you can step up your freelance writing career or get started even if you have no experience. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.